Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Timmy Treagle, also known as War Fan for Life, and today I'm giving you my top 10 movies of the year 2000. If you don't know what I've been doing, I've started with the year I was born in 1978 and started doing my top 10 movies from that year leading up to 2018's list. And right now, I'm going to give you my top 10 movies of the year 2000. But before I start that, I have many honorable mentions, and they are Autumn in New York, Scream 3, Mission Impossible 2, Next Friday, Road Trip, Hollow Man, Shanghai Noon, The Replacements, Dudes, Where's My Car, and Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? All great movies, just couldn't make my top 10 list. But coming in at number 10 is What Women Want. Mel Gibson starred in this movie with Helen Hunt. Um, an accident by electrocution uh, gives Mel Gibson's character the ability to hear women's thoughts. And at first, he thinks it's a bad thing and um, tries to eliminate that. Well, eventually, he uses it to his advantage and takes advantage of women. Not only for sex but for other things. And it's a funny movie, and we are getting a sequel or a reboot or something, but this time it's going to focus on what men want. And it's going to have a female lead, and she's going to be able to hear men's thoughts. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one as well, because I figured sometime down the line that they would make that movie. But I love this one, and yeah, deserves a spot at number 10. Number 9 is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I watched this movie last year. Phenomenal cinematography, the fighting, it's just a beautiful shot picture, a great story, great direction, great characters, and I highly recommend that you check out Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. A phenomenal movie. Uh, it's been on my radar for many years. Never got around to watching it, but I was bound determined to watch this movie, and finally got it done, and it was well worth the watch. So check it out. Coming number 8 is Me, Myself, and Irene, an underrated Jim Carrey comedy. He is a Rhode Island state trooper who is married, uh, and one day he finds out that he's going to have kids, and they all turn out to be black, and there's three of them. And come to find out, his wife cheated on him with the black person, and she ends up leaving him, but she leaves the three boys with him. So he takes it on the chin and raises the boys as his own, and from there, uh, he starts to develop a different personality. Hank, who is someone who will stick up for himself and not take anybody's crap, as where Charlie will just bite his lip and just move on. Uh, but Jim Carrey doing two different personalities is phenomenal. He nails it to a T. You got Renee Zellweger, who plays the love interest in this movie. Anthony Anderson, along with the two other guys in this movie, are funny as well. And it's just a good time. It's a funny ass movie that I think is underrated. So definitely check out Me, Myself, and Irene. Number 7 is Gone in 60 Seconds. Nicolas Cage. Uh, his younger brother takes on the job to boost cars. He ends up messing it up, and his older brother has to come and not only save his life for being crushed in the car, but to take on the job to boost 50 cars in one night. And these aren't your just typical cars on the street. These are some high-end automobiles. And so he takes on the job, and from there, it's a race against time to get all 50 cars. But it's a fantastic action movie. Robert Duvall, Scott Conn is in it as well. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. Number 6 is Scary Movie. This is one of the best parodies of all time. I remember when this came out in 2000. I have talked about this before in my review that I did for it on my channel, I believe. But Scary Movie is parodying Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and a lot of those horror movies that came out to the mid to late 90s. And you have the Wayans brothers who wrote this movie. Their oldest brother, Keenan Ivory, directed, and Sean and Marlon Wayans star in this movie, along with great cast: Anna Faris, Shannon Elizabeth, and it is it is a lot of fun. I remember me and my big group of friends all went to see this movie at the same theater, same night, and it was a blast. That's something I'll always remember that we did. I wanted to say uh, Brian Sheely, Keitra Hay, Randy Bailey, Clay Roberts, Jeremy Lewis, Samantha Carter, Neil Bogart, and myself were all there watching the movie. It was a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and it was one of our most anticipated movies of 2000, and it deserves a spot on my top 10 list. Number 5 is The Patriot. Again, another Mel Brooks movie on here. You have him and Heath Ledger who fight together for the North, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a 2.5 hour movie, but it's fantastic. Gibson is a single father who has a lot of kids, especially a lot of boys, and his oldest is played by Heath Ledger, and it's just a great war movie. You all know the story. It was the North against, actually, well, it was the North versus British rule at the time. They came over, just started taking the different colonies, um, and then from there, we were waiting on French help, which was going to take about 6 months. But we had to hold them until then, which we ended up doing, and we got our freedom. No more taxes, and yeah, it's a great movie. Very bloody, but great movie. Coming number 4 is Meet the Parents. Ben Stiller, Robert De Niro, Owen Wilson. Just a great movie. Stiller wants to marry his girlfriend Pam, and so they are there for her older sister's wedding. And from there, it just turns into one hectic event after another. It's hilarious. There's a lie detector test giving to Fokker, played by Stiller. And yeah, it's a lot of laughs. Robert De Niro is at his best in this movie. It spawned 2 sequels, which I really enjoyed, but the first one is the best. And yeah, it's a lot of laughs, a lot of fun. If you haven't seen this movie, you're definitely missing out. I highly recommend that you check it out. Number 3 is Unbreakable. I have talked about that movie enough. Number 2 is Castaway. Tom Hanks, one of my favorite Tom Hanks movies. Of course, if you know me, you know he is my favorite actor of all time. And this is no exception. This is a great movie. It's about a gentleman who is brought down by turbulence in an airplane. He works for FedEx, and him and the 2 pilots are presumed to be dead. He survives on this island for more than 4 years, and the way he goes about doing it is phenomenal. The one part that makes me cringe in this movie is when he cuts out his tooth with the ice skate. That is so cringeworthy. I have a hard time watching that. And then he has his friend Wilson, which is a volleyball, and of course the company that makes them is Wilson, and he has a bloody handprint on there with a smiley face. But he is eventually able to get off the island, and he is found. Like I said, a little over 4 years later. Of course, his wife, played by Helen Hunt in the movie, has moved on. They even had a funeral for him. And yeah, it's a phenomenal movie, tear-jerking movie, and one of my favorites, not only from Tom Hanks, but definitely worth a spot at number 2 in 2000. And my number 1 movie of the year 2000 is Final Destination. I love this franchise. I know we're getting another movie. There are 5 movies in the franchise right now. This one set all these other sequels off. It's about a gentleman who has a premonition where he thinks his plane is going to blow up. And so he causes a scene, and it causes him and several of his friends and other passengers to get off the plane. And because of him doing that, he saved their lives because the plane did, in fact, blow up. And then from there, the survivors get picked off one by one, and it is Death's plan. Tony Todd is in this movie, and he's in all of them, I believe, except the 3rd or 4th one, maybe the 4th one. But he is phenomenal, and you have a great young cast led by Seann William Scott. When he gets his head decapitated, it's a great scene. This is a fantastic movie. You have a killer who's not seen in Death, and it's just a lot of fun, and definitely deserves the number 1 spot in my opinion. Albeit this is not my favorite movie in the franchise. Part 2 is my favorite in the franchise. This deserved the spot at number 1 in my opinion. And so there you have it. Those are my top 10 movies of the year 2000. And as always, give me your top 10 list from the year 2000. If you don't have a top 10 list, then just name a few movies that you love. And did you agree with my list? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. And if you like this, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to share this video with all your family and friends. I appreciate each and every one of you for supporting my channel. And stay tuned for one more top 10 list this evening. Thank you for watching, and check you later.